If you're looking to make a move to the Seattle metropolitan area and you're trying to figure out exactly where you should move to best fit your lifestyle, well, in today's video, I'm breaking down the entire Seattle metro area and what different areas have to offer, so stay tuned. Hey everyone, I'm Bryce Greenleaf. I'm a local real estate agent here in the greater Seattle area, and I love making videos all about what it's like living over here in Seattle and what to expect when you're moving over this way. So if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. I get calls, texts, and emails from you guys all the time for those of you that are moving over this way and are looking for help, and I love helping you out. So if you are making a move over here, you're planning to buy a home in this area, feel free to reach out to me here. You can call, text, or email me. Either way, I've got your back when you're moving to the Seattle metro area. But like I said, on today's video, I'm going to go over the entire metro area as a whole and what different areas have to offer. So the metro area is a very large area. We're talking over 80 different cities in what we call the Seattle metropolitan area, spanning over 3 counties. So this is King County, this is Pierce County, and this is Snohomish County. So I'm going to break this up into 6 different areas that kind of give you a relative feel of that area and will help you digest this whole Seattle metropolitan area a little bit easier. So I'm going to go over North King County, South King County, East King County, and then South Snohomish County, North Snohomish County, and then just Pierce County as a whole. So let's just start right in the middle here, the main area, which is Seattle. So this is going to be North King County is what I'm considering here. So this is going to be places like Seattle, like Lake Forest Park, and like Shoreline, cities like this. So in this area, your median home price is going to be $820,000. Now, this is, of course, spanning over a few different cities in this North King County area, so it does vary a bit city to city. You know, on the low end, you could get a small 2-bedroom home in South Seattle area for the low 400s, you know, something that's a little bit run down, needs some work, a small home, something like that. And then, of course, Seattle, there's a wide variety of different home prices, so anything up to multi-million-dollar homes and everything in between. In places like Shoreline and Lake Forest Park, kind of on that low end, you're going to be looking $700,000 for a small home, probably outdated, needs some work, things like that, and then up from there. So that's the general gist of the home prices in this area. Now, Seattle, of course, is our big city here, anchoring the whole metropolitan area. So you've got the downtown area, Pike Place Market, you got the Seattle waterfront with the Ferris wheel and some nice restaurants, a lot of things to do down there, a lot of shopping, of course, within Seattle. But Seattle's not for everyone. So most of the people that I find that have contacted me here from YouTube, very, very few of them are actually looking to live right in the city of Seattle. For a wide variety of different reasons. I personally would never live in the city of Seattle myself. I live in an outlying suburb. You know, it comes with large downtown issues, you know, all the issues you'd expect with a large downtown area, like the drug use, the homeless problems, kind of the dirtiness of the city walking through. So not to say there aren't good parts of Seattle that you can live in, there certainly are, but when we're talking about the downtown area specifically, I know a lot of people like to avoid the Seattle area when they're living there. Now, there's plenty of stuff to do there for recreational purposes, and most of the cities you can commute into Seattle. If you're going every once in a while, they do some activities in there. But this North King County area is going to be a very urban feel. Now, once you get further north into the Shoreline and Lake Forest Park areas, like I mentioned, you're going to get a little bit more of a suburban feel. But most of Seattle, a lot of Seattle, you're going to have a very kind of urban type feel, a very fast-paced kind of hustle and bustle type feel in this Seattle and North King County area. Some other popular spots on the North King County area here are the Woodland Park Zoo, which is really popular to take the kids to. I've been there countless times, you know, growing up on field trips and now taking my daughter there. You've got Green Lake, which is a great lake to go hang out at. The kids can go swimming. There's a looped trail, paved trail all along the lake. So a lot of people go rollerblading and running and walking their dog and biking all around that trail. There's basketball courts and baseball fields, soccer fields, everything there at Green Lake Park. really nice place to go, on a nice summer day. Take out a paddleboard or a kayak, something like that. Plenty of activities to do there. So that draws a lot of people in to that area. So a lot of recreation, a lot of different things to do in this North King County area, on a nice day and things like that. All right, going down just south here to South King County, this is going to be your cheapest area of King County. These are cities like Tukwila, SeaTac, Kent, and Federal Way. So again, this is going to have kind of a similar, in certain areas here, a similar kind of hustle and bustle vibe. But like I said, this is going to be the cheapest area. So the current median home price in these areas is about $600,000. You can find a little 2 to 3, more rundown home on the low end for around $400,000, and then up from there. There's not going to be as many, high-end properties in these areas. Just to say, some other areas in the Seattle metro area, there's a lot of high-end properties, multi-million-dollar homes and gated communities, things like that. There's not nearly as much of that here in the South King County area. Now this is where SeaTac Airport is, so if you're somebody moving over here and you're going to be flying in and out for work all the time, this is definitely something you need to consider, is proximity to the airport, making it a commutable distance if that's something you're going to be doing really often. So the airport's down here in SeaTac. There's not quite as much to do around here. There's some shopping and stuff and whatnot. There's a Wild Waves theme park, which is a water park, and then a theme park as well with roller coasters and rides and stuff like that. Outside of that, there's not a ton in terms of recreational opportunities here on the South King County area, other than just your regular shopping and whatnot, going to the mall, going to Ross, TJ Maxx, all that kind of stuff is pretty much everywhere around here. But that's the majority of your opportunities for activities, recreation, things like that, or going to Wild Waves like I mentioned. All right, in the third area I'm going to go over here, the last part of King County is what's called East King County. We just call this the East Side. That's the terminology when you're coming over here. When you're referring to this area, it's the East Side. So this is the most expensive place to live in Washington State. So these are cities like Bellevue and Kirkland and Redmond and Issaquah and Sammamish and kind of now Maple Valley. So these are like I said, very expensive places to live. The median home price in this area is $1.3 million, just over $1.3 million. Now cities like Bellevue and Redmond are more like $1.6 million. If you go down to Maple Valley, it's closer to $900,000. So it depends exactly where on the east side area you are here. But the main bulk on the north side of this east side area, I'm talking about Kirkland, Redmond, Bellevue, those areas are going to be, the 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6 million. Same with Issaquah and Sammamish, 1.3, 1.4, 1.5, 1.6 for median home prices in these areas. Maple Valley is going to be the cheapest, kind of in this area for those median home prices, and it is, of course, a bit further out, as you can see here on the map. It's definitely further south, so not quite as convenient of a location, but a lot of people that were wanting to live in the east side previously that have now been priced out of it have now expanded and gone down to Maple Valley. So Maple Valley's become a very popular area because of that. But the reason that this area is so expensive, there's a lot of different reasons that factor into it. A lot of people come over here from out of state taking jobs. So there's a lot of great jobs here on the east side, specifically tech jobs. So this is where Microsoft is headquartered. So Microsoft is kind of the anchor to this east side. What has really helped build it over the last couple decades is a lot of people moving over here for jobs at Microsoft, and of course making really good money. So it's increased the home prices here like crazy. There's a lot of other companies now that have moved into the east side. You've got your Facebook, you've got Google, you've got Amazon, you've got GoDaddy, you've got Enterprise. There's a lot of different companies here on the east side. In the downtown area, there's a ton of different tech companies, smaller tech companies that are offering jobs, of course, and a lot of great places to work around here. So this is, the big reason why people are moving over here is for jobs, and then as well for schools. It attracts a lot of people because they're highly rated on all the lists that you see online, school rankings and whatnot. This is the highest rated area, this whole east side area. There's a few different districts through here, but they're all very highly rated. In terms of things to do around here in Bellevue, you've got Bellevue Town Square, which is kind of your mecca of shopping. So if you're somebody that likes to go to the mall, walk around the shops, do all the shopping, the clothing shopping, things like that. You want to go to restaurants. There's tons of restaurants down here, great places to eat. So there's a lot to do in this Bellevue Town Square area. You're right on Lake Washington as well. So if you go to Kirkland, there's a great downtown park where you can go swimming and whatnot. multiple different places right along Lake Washington here through Kirkland and Bellevue where you can hang out on the lake. You can launch the boat, take out the boat and go wakeboarding, water skiing, tubing, all that kind of stuff. So all of that's available here in the Eastside area. As you go to places like Redmond, Sammamish, and Issaquah, they're a bit more of a rural feel. You're still going to feel like you're in suburbia, but they're not quite as urban, quite as hustle and bustle as Bellevue and Kirkland, because Bellevue and Kirkland are right along the freeway, right along Lake Washington there. So a little bit quicker pace versus some of the spots in Redmond, Issaquah, and Sammamish. You can feel like you're a little bit further out, a little bit more in suburbia, and not quite as fast-paced living. But beautiful homes, beautiful neighborhoods in these areas. On the very low end in Maple Valley, you could find a home for $650,000 to $700,000, a decent little starter house, and then up from there. And then, in Bellevue, Kirkland, and Redmond, you've got multi-million dollar homes, $5, $10, $15 million homes with, water views, gated communities, mansions, things like that. So there's a lot of different types of homes, a wide variety of things here in the Eastside area. All right, so I want to move to Snohomish County now. So this is the county north of King County, north of Seattle. This area is growing a lot like everywhere else with people, moving outside of Seattle. People coming from out of state don't want to be in Seattle, so this is another popular area for people to be going. So first part of this is going to be South Snohomish County. So this is places like Linwood and Edmonds and Mountlake Terrace and Bothell and Mill Creek. These cities have a median home price right now of about $880,000. Now you could find something as low as $550,000 for like a 2 or small 3-bedroom starter home in a place like Mountlake Terrace, an older 1950s, 1960s home. If you're wanting something a little bit more substantial in size, you're looking to go right around $700,000 to get something, a 3 to 4 bedroom that's around, 1,800 to 2,000 square feet with a good sized yard, a relatively newer home within the last 20 years, things like that. So there's a wide variety, a wide mix of homes in these areas, but they are very popular place to move to. This is where I grew up here in Mountlake Terrace. So it's a great area, highly recommend it. A lot of great people living over this way. On Edmonds here, which is on the west side of this area, you're right on the Puget Sound. So it's a great place to go on the weekend for recreational purposes, going down to the beach, walking around the shops down there, things like that. You can take the ferry over to Polsbo and hang out there in the day. So it's a really nice place to go on a nice summer day, this Edmonds area. It's exploding a lot with people moving there as well, of course, with more convenient access to downtown Seattle. So those people that are taking jobs at places like Amazon, anywhere within Seattle, this is becoming a popular place for those people to move to, is the Edmonds and the Mountlake Terrace type areas, because it's right along I-5, so it's easier to commute in and out of Seattle, and they get a little bit better, in their mind, a little bit better of a lifestyle living in these areas than they would if they tried to live close to downtown Seattle or something like that. Along with Edmonds Beach, here in Linwood, just to the east of Edmonds, you've got the Alderwood Mall. So this is a big shopping area, one of the best mall really on the north side for those of you looking for that opportunity to go shopping there. So moving to the north side of Snohomish County, these are cities like Everett and Snohomish and Lake Stevens and Marysville and Arlington. So it is a bit cheaper for sure to live up here. The median home price in these areas is around $630,000. So again, it's going to depend exactly where in North Snohomish County you end up. There's a wide variety of pricing. You could get something as low as, $450 to $500 for a small home in the downtown Everett area, an old, craftsman kind of rundown home. To really get something decent, substantial, a good family home, I would say you're looking, you need to be at least $600,000 at this point. Some spots in Marysville and Arlington where you could find something around $550, but that's kind of that price point you'd need to be at this current time if you're looking for, a 3 to 4 bedroom with 1,600 to 2,000 square feet with a decent sized yard that's built within the last 30 years, something like that. So those homes are available right around the 550 to 600 range on the low end, and then up from there, plenty of great homes in the 700s and 800,000s as well. So this is going to be an area, if you're somebody that's looking for more rural living opportunities, this should be at the top of your list, is this North Snohomish County area. So not necessarily Everett. Everett's kind of that big city that anchors North Snohomish County. It's the biggest city on the north side of Seattle. It's got a downtown area, larger downtown area, and of course problems that come along with those larger downtown areas are present in Everett as well. But Everett has a lot of different pockets, still some great places to live in Everett. But outside of Everett, some of these cities have some great rural opportunities. So cities like Snohomish and Lake Stevens and Arlington are some of the best. If you're looking for acreage, you want 5 acres, 10 acres, even just an acre, there's plenty of properties like that in this area that are going to be a lot better on your budget than if you were to live further south, closer to Seattle. There's a lot of farmland in these areas. There's a lot of kind of those fall time activities, so pumpkin patches and corn mazes, haunted corn mazes, things like that. Wedding venues, most popular spot for wedding venues up around here. So all of that is kind of that rural opportunity type lifestyle over here. Now, the great thing about some of these cities, specifically Snohomish right here, is you can feel a lot more rural while still not being that far out. You're still relatively close in, so if you're commuting somewhere closer to Seattle, it's still doable. Now, when you go out to a place like Arlington, it's a much longer commute, so most people don't live in Arlington or try to commute to Seattle. That's just too far of a drive. There's some people that do it, but I personally would never do that Arlington to Seattle commute on a daily basis. It's pretty far. However, if that's something that's not important to you, you don't have to make a commute into Seattle, and you're looking for rural opportunities, some acreage, Arlington can be a great spot for that. There's a lot of great areas in and around Arlington. You can focus your search closer to the highway, so you're not too far out, or you can go way out in the boonies where there's hardly any cell service or power or electricity run to the property, and everything in between. So there's a wide range of opportunities in this North Snohomish County area. All right, and the last area I'm going to talk about here is way down south. This is Pierce County. This is south of King County, south of Seattle. So this is cities like Tacoma and Puyallup and Spanaway. So this is going to be your cheapest area to live in the Seattle metropolitan area. Median home price right now is about $520,000 for this area. You could find something as cheap as about $350,000 for, again, a small 2 to 3 bedroom home, older home that might need a little bit of work, might need a little bit of fix up. But you could find that around $350,000, and then up from there for a lot of different types of homes and different types of living. So this is going to be relatively similar feel to the South King County area that I talked about when I talked about Federal Way, Tukwila, SeaTac, places like that. This is a very similar feel down here. Tacoma's a larger city, so there's plenty to do in Tacoma. There's the Tacoma Dome, which is a large event center, so concerts and stuff. They've got a lot of different events through the year here at Tacoma Dome. There's a big mall in Tacoma, so all the shopping and stuff you need is down here. This is one of the largest cities in the state, Tacoma is. But it is really bad traffic down here, so if you're somebody that's got to commute into Seattle, into downtown Seattle for work, living in Tacoma or one of these surrounding areas would be pretty tough. Going from Pierce County into Seattle on a daily basis is not something I would do. Again, there are people that do it, but traffic gets backed up really bad through here, Tacoma, so it can take a while on that daily commute. All right, well, this wraps up my video here on different areas in the Seattle Metro that you could consider. Hopefully this gives you a better feel for these different regions, for these different areas, these different counties within the Seattle metropolitan area, and can help make your decision when you're moving over here. Like I said, I'm an active real estate agent over here, so if you're looking to make a move, purchase a home over here, feel free to reach out to me at my info here on the screen. I'd be more than happy to help you out. Feel free to check out either one of these videos right up here for some more content on what it's like living over here in the Seattle metropolitan area.